Guys, what a pleasure to be here and how inspiring to listen to all of your talks. Thank you for sharing everything. So look, studies show that talks that mention sex get 30% more views than those that don't. Talks that mention sex and domination, they perform even better, which is fitting given my topic today. Because what we're witnessing in the entrepreneurial space is nothing short of economic foreplay leading to digital domination. We've seduced an entire generation with entrepreneurial fantasies while training them to be submissive content servants to the tech platforms. The safe word, apparently, is hustle culture. Do you notice how these so-called entrepreneurs are never just described as business owners? No, they're branded by their tech overlords mark. He's an Airbnb host. She's a TikTok influencer. They're a delivery rider. Real entrepreneurs are not defined by the tools that they use. We don't call Jeffrey Archer a Microsoft Word author, or Gordon Ramsay a KitchenAid chef. And yet we instantly accept Amazon seller or Substack writer as a primary identity. This linguistic sleight of hand reveals the true power structure. Not entrepreneurs using platforms, but platforms using entrepreneurs as their distributed workforce, whilst convincing them they're independent business owners. 20 years ago, entrepreneurship was largely invisible to the average person. Then came the perfect storm. Reality TV, social media, and platform technology combined to create what I call entrepreneurial theater. Reality TV shows like The Apprentice, fronted by charismatic superstar businessmen like Donald Trump and Alan Sugar, transformed business into entertainment, showcasing personality and drama, not business building. The message was clear. Anyone can do this. Entrepreneurship is about performance, and you're the product. Meanwhile, social media created stages for performing success. Influencers built brands around the entrepreneurial aesthetic. Laptops on beaches, luxury fast cars, screenshots of bank balances. The lifestyle trumped the actual business. And then the platforms came, promising the impossible. Uber offered be your own boss without ownership. Airbnb promised hospitality entrepreneurship without property. OnlyFans, I did promise you some sex, suggested content monetization without security. They all sold the same intoxicating lie: independence without infrastructure, success without sacrifice, and entrepreneurship without risk. The result? Millions of people today call themselves entrepreneurs whilst working for companies they don't own, on platforms they don't control, building audiences they can't contact, and creating content they don't fully own, capturing only a fraction of the value that they create. This isn't entrepreneurship. This is an illusion of entrepreneurship. And there is a name for it. It's called digital sharecropping. Digital sharecropping is when you build your business on someone else's platform. Creating content, serving customers, and generating value on a platform you do not control or own. Just like the historical sharecroppers work the fields owned by landlords, so digital creators do all of the work whilst platforms take a significant cut, control the terms, and can evict any creator from their digital livelihood without notice or recourse. Now, I work in the short-term rental industry, headlined by platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com and Vrbo. And I see this exploitation happening on a daily basis. We are not standing at a precipice. We have leapt over the edge. And it's terrifying because kids these days, they don't want to be doctors or nurses or teachers. They want to be YouTube creators. We are witnessing the birth of digital feudalism. Imagine a world where no one owns anything of any value. Not their content, their audiences, or even their professional identities. A tiny aristocracy of platform owners controls both distribution and creation, while millions labor as digital peasants, extracting just enough compensation to keep working, but never enough to build economic independence. And the most heartbreaking part is the psychological toll. These creators, they measure their self-worth based on platform metrics designed to enhance engagement, not creator well-being. And when they burn out, because they will burn out, because they are chasing the next viral moment which is going to bring them success, they blame themselves. I didn't optimize correctly. I didn't create the right content. I didn't hustle hard enough. They blame themselves rather than the system designed to extract the maximum amount of their labor. They never know the game was rigged from the start. If we continue down this path, we are in danger of losing economic self-determination. I believe there is a real chance that economic self-determination will become as foreign to us, as foreign to our children, as rotary phones and typewriters are to us. This is what is at stake here. We're not talking about career paths. We're talking about the fundamental restructuring of economic power in ways that threaten social stability itself. So, is there anything we can do? Genuinely. How can a digital creator take back control? How can we help smash this entrepreneurship illusion? Let's start with the platforms. History shows that extractive systems eventually face rebellion. Well, I just want to do the world a favor and just get straight on to the rebellion part. What these platforms need to do is they have to evolve towards genuine partnership by sharing ownership with creators. They must provide true transparency over their algorithms and real data portability. Creators aren't just content. They're the lifeblood of these platforms. For the individuals, for the creators, everything starts and ends with ownership. The principles of creating and capturing value have not changed, even if the tools have. Great businesses are not built overnight on a viral moment. They're built over years of consistent value creation. So you must own your distribution channels, your email lists, your direct customer relations. They must be your foundation, not borrowed time on someone else's platform. You must own your intellectual property, like your brand, creating assets with lasting value that cannot vanish with an algorithm update. You must own your business model, diversify away from platform dependency, use platforms as tools, not foundations, and perhaps most importantly, own your own definition of success. Reject the platform vanity metrics, likes, followers, being a superhost, and lean into metrics of real business health, profitability, customer loyalty, and sustainability. And for everyone else, you have the most important part to play. You can help by deliberate action. These platforms exist because we choose to use them in a certain way. We can choose differently. Next time you want to find accommodation to stay in, try using these platforms like you would a search engine. Find the property you want to stay in, and then reach out directly to the owner. Next time you find a creator whose work you admire, follow their direct newsletter rather than simply following them on the platform. Every time you book direct and you cut out the platform middleman, you're going to generate that actual entrepreneur with 25% more revenue whilst building their independence. You're going to help create a real entrepreneur with a sustainable business which is not dependent on a platform. Now, I hope you see that what I'm talking about is not about a better business model or a fairer revenue split. It's about keeping the very principles of economic self-determination in a digital age. It's about reclaiming the entrepreneurial dream in its most authentic form. Independence and creating lasting value that cannot disappear and is controlled by the person who is doing the creating. Now, I want to share some straight whiskey that gives me so much hope. Entrepreneurs have always thrived in the face of constraints. And the challenges that we're facing today, how to reclaim ownership from platforms, are just the type of problems that ignite real entrepreneurial innovation. Imagine a digital economy where you can build your business on multiple platforms without being owned by any of them, where your customer base belongs to you, not an algorithm, where technology amplifies your independence rather than quietly eroding it, where there are multiple pathways to success that exist beyond the next viral validation or serving as content fodder for the tech platforms. Now, this isn't some utopian dream. This is what the digital economy was supposed to be before we traded ownership for convenience and independence for exposure. The choice is clear. Will we continue down this path of selling the entrepreneurial fantasy, the entrepreneurial illusion, creating generation after generation of digital sharecropper? Or will we fight for an economy where real entrepreneurship, with all its risks and rewards and revolutionary potential, remains possible? Thank you.